I'm a day one middle-aged guy like you.
Yes.
And I deal with the younglings.
Yes.
And I observe and I love your commentary on it. And I'm finding that saying to them, you're not very skilled, so this brain power's a little short, and you don't work very hard, so show up. They don't like it when I tell them that. And so the interesting part is that when I'm working with them, and some of them have a chance, what's your perspective on dealing with the younglings as a day one guy? How do you get them to do stuff without telling them that they're stupid and lazy?
I actually think of it in reverse. I mean, most of my 22 and 23-year-olds would look in your face and think that you're finished. And that, like, fuck you.
Yeah, and
like,
I'm trying to make money for them, they don't care. I'll make money fall out of the sky and they tell me it's irrelevant.
But the question, it's not that it's not about cool or what have you. What you define as money might be different than the way they define as money. Like, okay, cool, how much money are you gonna make for your 23-year-old? Give me a number.
I'll probably do about $40 million for him this year.
No, not for them. Rick doesn't get $40 million. How much does Rick, the 23-year-old, get? And give me the truth, because the number isn't high.
Yeah. Owner of the company, I mean, I don't know, he'll probably get $2-3 million compensation this year.
Explain. Let's go further. I want to know how a 23-year-old gets $2 to $3.
I got a company founder.
Okay.
I am an old school web strategy guy. I know what works.
Yep.
Send the email, do the this, put in the time every day. Don't want to do that. Highly resistive, and it's a communication problem for me.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Why don't you just do it for yourself? Yeah, that's the real question, right? Like, cool, if you know what the fuck you're talking about, do it for yourself. I do. I work harder and I'm smarter than all my 22-year-olds. I'm better at social media than everybody at VaynerMedia. I'm looking at them right now, just to remind them. Like, so honestly, I think you're rolling with like trying to razz them. Razz yourself.
Who influenced you?
My parents. And that's it. And I know it's like, I get mad at this question because I feel like it's either cliche or maybe, I always ask myself, am I too egotistical to give it to somebody else? It's just the truth. Like, I don't look at Elon Musk or Zucks or Cuban or the president or, I don't do that. It's just not real, it's just not true. I look at my parents, I know their truths, I know they came to this country with nothing. You know, I know that my dad worked every minute. I didn't even know him until I was 14. I know that my mom is the foundation of my self-esteem, which is the driving fuel of my success. There's not even a close second to the entity of my parents. And I don't know these other people. I know their public persona in the same way that a lot of you don't know me. As a matter of fact, the thing I probably am happiest about in the world is the people that come into VaynerMedia that have some sense of me, I think like me a lot more 2 or 3 years later when they get to look under the hood. But I'm too scared maybe to even give that away to somebody else without knowing that I won't have the time to look under the hood. Anybody who's losing their hustle has a lot of variables, and there's a lot of variables in this episode. This is the variable episodes where there's a lot of context clues, not just direct answers today. Listen, you might not be passionate about your North Star anymore. I've been going through something. Let me actually break some shattering news here. For the first time in my life, I've been thinking about weird things like sabbaticals and building a business school in Haiti for 5 years and like I love, listen, I'm still all about buying the New York Jets and it's the process of that and the game, but it's amazing for me to be in tune with myself, the maturity, like as you get older, like just like my kids are 6 and 3 and they're interesting. Like they're interesting. And like I start projecting, what do they look like at 13 and 15? Like it'd be really cool to like, I don't believe in the school system as much as everybody. Like, do I just take them and go do something rogue? Like, just different things. Like, you just evolve. And you might have just lost your North Star. The thing that you thought you were going for might not be. It's why I was always happy that I didn't want $1 million, or I didn't want fame, or I didn't want a car or private plane, or these little things. Like, it was fun to be like, I want to buy the jets, and what that always meant to me is I want the process of buying the jets, which means I get to hustle forever because that's who I am. Maybe you've lost who you are or what you want, or maybe you've accomplished kind of, or maybe you feel it's achievable. I would be crushed if I thought what I wanted to achieve was super achievable. I mean, it happened to me in the wine business. It's happening at Vayner. Like, as Vayner's becoming a player in the agency world, and we're not like, now we're like, oh. Like, and soon we're gonna be like, oh. Like, you know, like, that's not as fun for me. I like being the underdog. I like the climb, you know? I like that. So maybe that's happened. Maybe you're just tired. I mean, I think one of the things that the New York Jets do for me that nobody understands is those hours. Actually, you just caught something on Garyvee, right? Me talking to Jeff. That was the first time I talked business during a Jets game in 15 years. I looked at my phone at the wrong time. It was a very big thing, and only spent a second on it. Like, I am escaped and relaxed. And by the way, I didn't care about it. Like, that's how excited, like, those 3-4 hours of escapism. Maybe you need some vacation time. Maybe you need to look at the people around you. Maybe you need to change. Maybe you need to break up with your boyfriend or girlfriend. There's a lot of intense different things that can be happening. Or maybe you can take a step back and really listen to this statement, which is, you've lost your hustle because you really are not in tune to why you're doing it, right? You're just not in tune to what you're doing it. That you're maturing and realizing, like, a Ferrari or a fat watch or courtside tickets or custom Nikes, I just wanted to show them, is not what you're living for. And so, it's funny, tonight I'm going to the Charity Water Gala. I never thought of myself 10 years ago as somebody who would be so involved in nonprofits, sitting on the board of Pencils of Promise, donating. I was old school, I'm 40, I'm older. Like, this new narrative of much better people, and that's what I think you guys all are. I think you're a much better generation. I grew up thinking, I'll get rich, and when I'm old, I'll be like giving out money and doing that stuff. So you just evolve, right? And so maybe you, like me, like, I haven't gone completely, like, I don't have enough money. Like, my kids can give away all of the money, but I don't have that luxury yet. But maybe you want to do nonprofit. Maybe you want to build schools for Pencils of Promise, and we'll take you in Laos. Like, maybe you've lost your purpose. So take a good step back, shut down. Shut down for 24, 48, 72 hours. Go away. Go away like this. This is how I want you to shut down. Go to Airbnb. This is a 2016 way to shut down. Go to Airbnb, find a very remote place. Do you have to go? Oh, I'm taping something. Yeah, I'm just wrapping up the show. Sorry. Go to Airbnb, find a very remote place that you can get to at a low cost, like a crappy cabin far away on a 4-hour drive where you can, like, just drive because you can, or like somebody will drive you there, or like hitchhike. I don't give a crap. Lowest cost, furthest away, seclusion, and just be with yourself and start talking to yourself for real. Really talk to yourself for real. One of the great things I do with myself is I talk to myself for real. Nobody is a harsher critic and a bigger fan of themselves than me. And I think that friction in both directions matters.
You find time for health and wellness in that schedule?
Well, I wasn't doing health and wellness as of June of last year, and finally I've been thinking about it for a while, and I finally figured out what was happening, which is, I believe with health and wellness, and probably everything, you're either accountable to yourself or you're not, bless you. And so in every other part of my life, I'm accountable. I feel accountable, especially with my businesses. Like, the rigor, the sense of responsibility I have for the other 550 employees is greater than my own well-being. And when I said that, notice even how I said the sentence. I just said I'm accountable to myself, but I explained it as I was accountable to other people. And what I just did with you, by accident, is how I figured this out. I was like, what's the matter with me? I'm gonna die. Like, I'm gonna lose. Or I'm not gonna be able to do as many cool things. Like, this is not gonna work. This is black and white. I'm gonna treat my body like a business. I've audited, I'm gonna lose. I've lost. And so then I said, why is that? I'm so good at these other things. And I realized, holy crap, the things I'm best at are when I'm accountable to somebody but not myself. So I realized I'm gonna introduce a person. I'm gonna hire a full-time health person, and I'm more accountable to Mike than I am to myself. The reason I work out every single day is I don't wanna let Mike down. I have to be down at 5:45 because Mike's gonna be upset. And so I hacked myself. And so where do I find health? I found it. Like, I just do it every day. There's an hour every day scheduled, like, period, end of story. I work out every day of my life, and I changed my eating behavior because of it, because fuck, if I'm gonna do the work, And that's how I hacked it. I reverse engineered what I was doing. I think everybody here is either accountable to themselves or accountable to others, and you need to self-audit yourself and figure out, if you're not doing well in business, maybe you need to hire a couple of employees, because maybe you'll feel a sense of responsibility to them. Maybe that's the motivation you're looking for.
So in Vegas tomorrow morning, you will work out at that time, even though you're in Vegas?
Yes, and Mike isn't going on this flight, and usually he travels with me the whole nine, but this is a quick in and out.
Right.
But I will have to FaceTime with him while I do cardio, because I truly, if I don't, won't do it as well.